On today's first episode of the summer for Wrong Side after returning from break, we dive into the new places in Chicago and Boston as we talk about our new roommates, how it's been going with our moves, and domesticated life. The NBA and NHL finals are going on now as the Edmonton Oilers are down 2-1 and the Oklahoma City Thunder and Indiana Pacers head back to Indiana 1-1. NFL is almost near as trades have come up and a new spot for Joey's favorite quarterback this week. Clutch moment of the week sponsored by Shore Metals and Outside the Line. In a world full of champions, we find ourselves on the wrong side.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy Wrong Side Wednesday. Today is June 11th, and it's been some time. Michael and I are settled into our new places. Arlington Heights for me, Chicago suburb, and Boston, straight downtown. He lives in Fenway, Michael Sharber over here. So a lot has been going on. We are both living with our girlfriends after a long time and a lot of not ups and downs necessarily, but a busy year for the both of us. Meg getting placed in residency, Maddie wrapping up another year at school. I said it last time before our break. It's really been amazing to kind of look back real quick and see where we were when we started versus where we are now. So things are good. Really, this has honestly been a time that you and I have been probably our most separated since graduation with just so much going on. I feel like I am never sitting at home in this new apartment that I love so much, but things are good. We've both been busy. We're going to dive through a little bit of that now, catch up on sports a little bit. But happy to be back, Michael. What have you been up to? How is Boston? How's the move? How is Meg? Where's the cat? How are things going?
Boston is fantastic. Very fun city. A lot of young people here. Incredibly clean. I thought about that 2 years ago as well when I came the last time with my parents. Super clean. Very exciting. Lot to do here. Both of our TikToks are flooded with like, go try this restaurant. This is what's going on this summer. Here's what's going on in Boston and Seaport and Back Bay, North End, etc. A lot of stuff to do. Feels like we might not have time to do any of it because it feels like we've been like moving a lot, running errands, going to the grocery store, going to the furniture store, walking around. It's been busy. It's been busy. Week one was last week, so we're about halfway through week two in Boston. But week one, my parents and I came out, got here a day early, got to work fast, got the bed built, got my stuff unpacked out of hangers, built what else did we build here? Oh, built the desk I'm using right now, built some other stuff around the apartment, got everything set up. The starters came in, they got a couple innings for us. Then Meg and her parents came. A lot of boxes came, but been very efficient. Since then, been very efficient. Our kitchen, which has been great, a lot of storage. Her dad and I last week, we built a cabinet for over our bathroom. We installed that. So another point of storage, I'd say. We've really maximized all of our storage. We've been really big, myself really, I've been really big into apartment Tetris. I don't know if you've been playing any apartment Tetris.
I am great at apartment Tetris.
So we've been playing that a lot, making sure we have enough in there instead of just putting everything in the pantry, putting little containers in, stuffing things in there, making sure it's organized. The closet with our washer and dryer, pretty nice because the water heater is like, I'd say above, like it's not on one side, it's above, it's not on the floor. So really we got all that storage. We've packed it in there. Prior to moving, Meg and I were really honed in on what we wanted for like bed frame, bed, all that stuff, obviously for furniture. But two things we wanted because we knew we'd have a lot, especially for her stuff, because she was moving more of like an apartment versus me just bringing like clothes. A lot of storage in regulars and random spaces. Our bed frame, you lift it up and you can store a bunch under there. So that's been great. We've been vacuum sealing bags, putting them under there of like winter clothes she doesn't need, shoes both of us aren't going to use in the summer. That's been great. Golf clubs, her golf clubs are under the bed. They were originally going to be in the closet, but they just took up too much space and they fit perfectly under the bed. So that's been great. The couch that's actually coming in tomorrow, the sofa, there's like a chase that lifts up. So there's storage under there. There's a middle part that lifts up. So maximizing a lot of space, a lot of storage everywhere, but finally starting to see.
I'm going to put a counter on how many times you said storage in these first 2 minutes.
You need to start.
Storage. Remember when Kramer built the 3-level in his apartment? I think you need to start building vertically. It sounds like there's a lot going on in there.
There's a lot going on with not a lot of space, but it's been great. We're both finally starting to see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. Tomorrow's going to be big because once we get the new couch, it's coming into our living room. We're moving the older couch into the den. So that's going to take up a lot of space and that'll give some stuff around. We have 2 boxes, I think, left total out of all of the stuff both of us brought, which is really good. And both the boxes, half of the stuff we can't touch yet because it's going to be in the TV stand. It's going to be in the new TV stand, pictures, stuff like that. And then other stuff is going to be in the couch we get tomorrow. So we're right there. We both see it. We're both really pushing to get everything done before Monday. I go back to work. She starts orientation. Other than that, though, it's been going well. So far, so good. Figuring out that I'm going to do my skincare a lot more now with a girl. Doing things I didn't used to do a lot at home. But it's for the best. It's for the best. We Instacarted today 2 different orders from Costco and Aldi because the grocery stores around here are tough and you don't really think about it until it's gone. Obviously, you've been living kind of near Wrigley, but I feel like you still had Maddie visiting. So worst comes to worst, you had a car when she was there if you needed to do something. But you don't really think about the small things, no grocery store. We both said today, man, we really wish we could just drive to the grocery store, come back. But we don't have a car. So those kind of things are tough. But it's been going well. No issues there. We've managed to get around it. Hopefully this week, one day, probably both days, we're going to I told her I think we actually have a reservation Thursday night in the North End. And I told her we should let's book a reservation. Let's take the train. Let's Thursday, Friday.
I like that.
Thursday through Sunday, our goal is to find some places we like, but taking the train, practice. I walked back from the office last week. We walked to the hospital last week, both very easy. So that's been great. And finally settled this week, the last 2 days, today included, got to work out today and yesterday at the gym in our apartment complex, which was nice because both of us needed it after the long weekend. But finally feeling settled, less space, less clutter. The boxes. Yeah. The best is when you get rid of the boxes. The boxes are gone. So that's been good. But yeah, fun start so far. A lot more to explore.
Good to hear. Boston is amazing. I can't wait to come out and visit. It sounds like you guys are doing good on storage. That Michael left. Oh. That was you.
Oh. Mine was fine.
I don't know. Mine was fine.
Yeah. Keep going. Oh, yeah. Go back to looks like you're doing fine, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like things are good. Moving, as you said earlier, it never ends. Sounds like you guys are at least ahead on the storage game. And exploring a city is always fun. I would try and walk walk around wherever I can, take the train to work and stuff. What's going to be your office schedule? Like how close is the office? How often are you going to be in the office? I love having the den and working from home. Like one of the biggest differences that I found is like the last couple of years, my dad worked from home like all the time when I was growing up. So when I was working from home, I was like, at least my dad is always around. So I had someone to talk to. And then Kyle also worked from home. So I had him as well. Maddie, before she was off for the summer, and she is out of the house pretty much most of the day anyways, like I was like completely alone, which was probably my biggest like change from work from home stuff. So how's that going to be for you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because my mom and dad would come home, or Jake was home, like when I was living at home. So it was always someone like, hey, just like walk out of my office for a second, like break away for a second. And even when I would visit Meg, like, oh, I worked at her apartment, but it wasn't really the same. Like, because usually the times I would visit Meg, she wouldn't be as busy. So like she'd be at the apartment, or it would be the weekend. So I'm not really working. Like I wasn't really working many like weekdays there, other than like the weekend match day. I think was like the first time I've ever worked like more than one day in St. Louis at her apartment. So now I don't know my work schedule specifically yet. But I start back on Monday, so back to work. I really like my monitor. I was doing some stuff like last week. My boss like just messaged me. I had to fill out like an expense form that I forgot to do before I left for something, so I had to like log on. But like got to like feel that. But I think it's gonna be really nice. I have like a TV next to me. I have a really nice monitor I just got when I was here. The desk is great. There's like 2 drawers. I have a lot of like 2 nice shelves where I've like really started to organize.
Big storage desk, huh?
Have to. I'm big because my other desk was so big, like it was like a legit desk, like both whole drawers, everything else. Like I really condensed, like tried to find places that it would work. But now I think it's gonna be nice working from home. It's gonna be interesting though, because you're right, it is just you now, like Meg, and it's gonna be interesting in the beginning because not only am I working from home, but Meg technically will be here on days working from home, but she's starting on nights, so she'll be sleeping.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting. Luckily, like the door to our bedroom closes, which is nice because like that would be a mess. But other than that, like schedule in person, I don't know yet. My first couple weeks are going to be kind of tough, I think, just because I still want some California clients to wrap up June. So it's like hours will be a little strange. So I might be working like really long days because like it's not like too late there. But other than that, like I'm excited. I'm excited to meet some new people on my team. Excited to hopefully get some new friends. Really started looking into some stuff this week for like softball. I don't think I'm going to play like starting up soon, but I found a league that starts at the end of July. It's on the weekends, and it's co-ed, so it's not my favorite, but you can still pick the competitive version, which will be good. But other than that, like Meg,
do you think the Boston softball league knows that there is like the best free agent of all time just like out there on waivers?
No, I don't. They have
no idea.
I haven't even been like optioned yet by my team. Like I haven't even cleared waivers because I haven't signed up yet. But
do you think you're gonna like find the league Facebook page and like, you know, when you go to college, you're like, hey guys, like I'm Joey, like I like to work hard and play hard, like, but all BS to make friends. Are you gonna find the softball league Are you gonna find the Facebook page?
I don't know. Like it's, to be honest with you, like it's really, for me, it's tough because it's really like could be anything. Like I could say competitive, but it might not be like it could just be a team that's like a little better. But
you should have to submit a stat sheet and softball film.
Yeah. So, but you join individually and then they place you on a team. So it could be anything. It could be anything. But I'm hoping that like my thought process is the weekend league is got to be better because like people don't want to work during the weekdays or like, well, I mean, like I would love to play during the weekdays. I just don't know my schedule, and I'm not fully on Boston time yet. Like I'm not fully on Boston teams yet. I can't like commit to being like, well, I can be there at 7, but like a Sunday, anywhere in the afternoon, like I can be there. So that starts in July. I think I'm going to sign up for that individually and they'll place me on a team. I haven't gone through the like registration yet. So I'll have to report back on like what they ask you, like what positions do you play? Like all that. But more importantly, what I did see that was huge for me is it said bats provided, which is big because I don't have a bat and my team had like 3 bats back home. So I didn't come with a bat, but I brought my glove and I brought my batting gloves. So I'm ready to go, and I have my pickleball paddle. So if anybody listening to this is in the Boston area and wants to play pickleball, I would love to play. Um, but it's gonna be great. I'm starting to feel comfortable. I'm working out now. It was good to get in the gym both days. Needed it, especially after the wedding this weekend. But just feeling gross last week. You can only get so much of a lift in by lifting boxes and sweating in your apartment. That's not really a good workout. But other than that, I'm excited. I'm excited. We went to a really cool dinner spot last week. Oh, I don't know. I think I told you ran into a Red Sox player that used to be on the Angels. That was cool. And my parents were here. That was nice. And I'm just excited to explore. I don't know if it's hit me yet. Maybe it'll hit me next week when Meg starts orientation, because Meg and I have got to hang out a lot the last 2 weeks. But I don't know if it's hit me yet that I'll be doing a lot of stuff on my own. So I'll have to report back on what the solo outings are like.
Yeah, it's the first couple weeks I found, because Maddie was still in school when we moved in. She's on summer now, so we're still kind of we're adjusted. But the first couple weeks when you're both busy, she had games and stuff, and was wrapping up the school year, it's just jamming two schedules together, and you guys, you'll figure it out. Someone will cook dinner one night, someone will cook dinner the other night, but it'll be interesting to see, because even when you're in St. Louis, I always felt like you both had stuff going on. You had work, or there was med prom and stuff like that. So these 2 weeks must have been nice for you guys, and it'll be interesting to see how once real life kind of kicks you in the butt, how things kind of go. So it'll be interesting to see. But it sounds like it was a good moving process. Things are going well. The wedding sounded amazing. I know we're going to get to that. I have been also so busy. Maddie wrapped up the school year. I don't know when our last episode was, but I attended a great
May 14th.
I saw May
14th.
Than that. My sisters graduated college that next weekend, so congrats to Katie and Madeline. This was the whole twin split. Me and my mom were going to Nebraska. My dad and my aunt were going to Minnesota, so that went off without a hitch. Both have been graduated. I had my doctor's appointment for the follow-up for my little heart issue in March. I'm clean as a whistle. I am a new man. I am back. Anything that basically never happened. So that's all we're gonna leave it at. Bachelor party for my buddy Jason, which I'm the best man for. That was fantastic. It was 14 of us in Lake of the Ozarks. I knew 3 of the guys going. One of them was the groom, which is obviously a nice position to be in. But everyone was great. They're all college friends, and I was a hometown friend, and just really felt like the weekend went off without a hitch. The biggest issue we had was a couple of the guys got small tickets for fishing off the dock into Lake of the Ozarks, which was just whack, just super dumb. But if that's the worst thing that happens on a bachelor party, I think we made par for the course. Golfed on the bachelor party. That went really well, which was fantastic. Work's been going good. Went to Charlie and Nikki's engagement party last Saturday. So literally been so busy, I don't even know where my feet are at all times. Been golfing a lot. I'm still very bad at it. So not a lot has changed on that front. And Chicago summer, it is June 10th, June 11th when this is coming out. But Chicago weather just turned good. It's been brutal. It's been cold. It's been rainy. Summer does not exist anymore.
People are laying on bricks.
You know what? Mark Titus, as much as I have grown to love mostly sports and Mark Titus in general, his take about the Chicago summer being the most overrated thing of all time has actually done irreparable damage for the city. The bricks are nice. I love laying on a concrete slab, and I don't want to hear nothing about it. But summer, I think tomorrow is going to be close to 90, which will be nice. But we've barely had a day over 80 here. And by mid-June at this point, that is unusual. So this whole global warming thing, I'm shutting that whole rumor down. I need some more 90-degree days. But life's good, man. Been doing a lot of busy stuff, been trying to save money. But from my schedule, it's been pretty hard to do. So that's not a bad thing. But life's good. You had the wedding, the Joseph's wedding. Shout out to Joseph's. Are we talking about that now, or are we talking about that later?
Yeah. Because you kind of talked about. I was going to ask some questions about the bachelor party, because we'll get kind of shift in the bachelor party / wedding for both of us. But I will say I'll second that. The money, I'm bleeding money. It hasn't stopped, and it's so tough. But it's been good, because you know what, you only like young once, and you have to spend money when you're in fun cities. That's what I've been learning, even though I hate it. But that being said, Bachelor party. Okay. Lake of the Ozarks. You golfed. Some fishing tickets. That's small. I would equate that to the toilet seat breaking during
Yeah.
Dave's by
Yeah.
Gant.
Yeah.
Something we easily fix. No big deal. So three guys you knew. That's good. But other than that, what are some of the highlights? You don't have to get into details, all that stuff. But like, didn't know many guys. Were you were the best man, like you said. Were you in charge of a lot? How much was put on you? What did you guys do for food? Was there a lot of stuff around there? How did that go?
So the food question is really tough. You really cut to it right there.
Oh no.
But Jason went to Illinois State, which is about like 3.5 hours away from where we grew up, and met all these guys there. Most are Chicago suburb kids like us. So from around the area, came from like similar upbringings, just like guys that I got played sports in high school, like very similar to me and all my friends. All I did pretty much was book the Airbnb. We were talking about what we were going to do. We were going to do Nashville. We were going to do Vegas. We were going to do a lake house. We settled on the Ozarks. Most had never been there. That was also my first time there. It's a bit of a drive. It's about 8 hours.
Wow.
The drive there. So it was like me, Jason, who's the groom, and then two of our childhood friends who are twins and also Maddie's cousins. So we
these
drove
were the other two people. You're in the car with everybody you know.
with everybody I knew. So that obviously makes an 8 hour drive much easier, but it was really, really fun. Like I don't see those guys like on a typical weekend. So just catching up with them was honestly really good. The Airbnb, which I mean, I was in the middle of moving. I was in the middle of getting heart surgery. There was a lot going on when I was planning and booking this bachelor party. So the Airbnb was borderline a shot in the dark. You don't always know what you're going to get based on pictures, location. It's a place we had never been. We pulled the trigger on it. Ozarks, very reasonably priced. 14 guys to stay in a house. It was obviously a pretty big house, and it was amazing. There was like 2 different screened-in porches, enough bedrooms for everybody, a game room that had like shuffleboard, darts, like a bunch of other stuff. The Airbnb was absolutely fantastic. It had
Did anybody
kayaks
get
and
a
paddle
dart?
boards.
Did anybody get a dart inside their body?
No, they
Okay,
did
good.
not. That I am aware of. That there's my release, but no, not that I'm aware of. But we did a ton of drinking games that we just all organized together. I had a boat booked for that Sunday. It was also Memorial Day weekend, so we had an extra day.
Nice.
We ended up canceling the boat because it was just like it was warm enough to be nice and be in the water, but it was just kind of cloudy and rainy. So like being out on the boat was like and the groom decided to pull the plug on it. No harm, no foul there. Golf was amazing. We just did like I think there was like 5 2-man scrambles. Not everybody golfed, but most people did. And me and my partner won, which was electric. I'm the best second man in a scramble ever because golfing with no pressure is just so fun. But it was good. Like weather was supposed to be questionable, ended up working out. And again, like you said, if the biggest thing is a toilet seat breaking or a ticket for fishing off the dock, we made it okay. We hit bars just a little bit. There was the food, man. It was exactly what you think of me. It was exactly what you think of me. If you've ever seen the show The Ozarks, like without the tourists, it's a pretty like there's not a lot there. It's a poor area. Things are old. Things are run down. It's not like there is like a McDonald's 5 minutes away, especially when you also have to cross like a massive river that only has like a certain amount of bridges on it. So food was not nearby. So what did we do? We went to the store. We got a whole bunch of ground beef. We got a whole bunch of frozen pizzas and we got a whole bunch of beer. That was about it. It was like Wednesday or Thursday later that week. Maddie and I were trying to figure out what we were going to do for dinner. And she was like, well, we have a frozen pizza in there we could eat. I almost cried. Like the old thing when if you got caught smoking, your parents would make you smoke an entire pack so you learn to hate it.
I saw this Matthew McConaughey thing. Yeah.
This was the entire group with frozen pizzas that weekend. Like it was sick. And that was the most unhealthy thing we did. Like we drank about 1 million beers. That is not an exaggeration, but the worst thing by far was the amount of frozen pizzas consumed in that house. But other than that, it was great. We played drinking games. We went out. It was a really, really, really good time.
Awesome. That sounds like a great time. The bachelor party time is great. Dave's was great also. Like when we went back in Nashville, like a few months back, only negative I said of Dave's was that it just felt like too early. Cause like, we just like, that was when the weekends timed up. Cause like me and Moop's working and Gant in med school and Woburn law school. Like that was the only negative was that like, we wish it was closer to the wedding because it was like, oh man, like it was so long ago, but it was still fantastic. Like still was great. But no, sounds like a fun weekend. Always good. Jump ahead on that stuff. Wedding is when?
Mid-September.
Mid-September. Okay, coming up. That'll be exciting. Very fun. Hopefully Ohio State's got an easy game that week.
Oh, I forgot what that was. Different wrong side that I'm not going to talk about later. A lot of trips getting planned, trying to save money and stay close. But Labor Day weekend, the weekend that
Ohio State plays
Texas heads to Columbus for a rematch of last year's semifinal game. I will be with Maddie and her entire family in Iowa State. They have the 2:30 game.
I think we mentioned that. Yeah, we mentioned that.
I'm still worried about it, but yeah, okay.
I'm hearing Jake Trevor rumors. It seems like that it might be late or something. Like he sent that tweet to us a couple of days ago. I wasn't really sure what that meant.
It's a big noon kickoff game. Get over it. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah. But that's great. Fun weekend. Ozark sounds cool. Never been, but sounds like it was like good enough for a bachelor party, which is good to hear. Like chill, golf, did all that. Fantastic. But that being said, my weekend this weekend after the bachelor party was the wedding. The Josephs got married. David and Claire got married in beautiful Cleveland, the state of champions. The weather was perfect. The air is crispier. Ohio is the best. Meg and some of our friends were making fun of me that I'm the only one that like talks about Ohio in such good, like in vain, like everyone else hates talking about it. Like I get mad when people dog on it, but I love Ohio. I don't go to Cleveland often. I think it was one of my second or third time in Cleveland. So that was kind of interesting, but Shaker Heights was beautiful. Weather leading up to the wedding looked like some rain Friday, maybe some Saturday. Cleared up. Friday was beautiful. Beautiful. Saturday was gorgeous day. Sunday morning, rain. Perfect. The perfect wedding weather weekend. No worry about that Sunday. But Friday was great. The church we were at was phenomenal. Gorgeous church. Only groomsman that was Jewish, so I had to cross my arm for communion during Mass. But other than that, rehearsal dinner was at this Italian place that Claire's dad, he was friends with the owner. Fantastic. Some of the best chicken parm I've ever had. It was fantastic. Everything looked good too. Everything looked good, but the chicken parm I had was fantastic. So that was great. And the welcome party was that night for all the people out of town. That was awesome. I mean, the last couple of weddings I've been to have been A, family, B, Meg's friends, which I love Meg's friends, but like Meg knows the majority and I'll know like a group, but like I hadn't really been to one of my friends since about 2021, the wedding that Tommy Foley got married at.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that one was a good one because it was like Meg obviously knew probably more people because she was in the wedding. She'd know Tommy longer, but like he invited some betas. So I knew them, that group of them. So that was fun. But really, this is the first time it's been one of my closer friends getting married and a lot of my friends. And Friday night was great. Like seeing a bunch of guys that you don't really see ever really. Like we're all far away now. Mark and Bert and Andy and Dan and Jane, Louie, all those guys, like Wober, all the guys to name, but it was awesome. Like Friday was great. We all caught up, like bullshitting, like it was like we were at Foster's, like after a block, just hanging out, watching football. Like everybody caught up. Like I feel like when you see friends like that, you very quickly pass over, like, oh, what are you up to? What are you doing? Like that's very quick, and you just want to like fuck around with them. But then after that, Saturday was the wedding, and all-time wedding. The wedding venue was great at Shaker Heights. The ceremony was beautiful. I was on best man duty. Brought David Joseph's Shiesty glasses. I was in charge of the marriage license and certificate after the wedding, so I had to make sure I held on to that to give to her parents at the end of the day. So I was watching that. I was ready to go for whatever they needed. I helped Dave with whatever. It was a fun day. I laughed that girls were at Claire's house getting ready at 7 a.m. We were at the country club getting ready at 11. And we got dressed at 12:10. Pictures were at 12:15. We were at the church by 12:45. Very quick for the guys. Solid groom's party. Brinkman, Gant, Kuvert, Berger, myself, Wober, Zach, his brother. So the seven of us. Good group. Awesome time. Party was awesome. Food was good. Drinks were good. Hang on Sloopy was electric. Doses of mimosas was electric. Dan threw his vodka soda during what's it called? It's the real name of the song. The Frankie Valli song. Why can't I think of it right now? I don't know why I'm blinking. The beer shower song. The beer shower song. Yeah. So Dan threw his drink and all of us got soaked. We were all very mad at him, but that was
Amazing.
great. Felt like
How'd
my
the speech
was
go?
good. Felt like my
Okay.
speech was good.
Yeah.
I was very, very nervous. I was very nervous because I really didn't get much time to practice last week. Like I was kind of moving everything, and then Saturday morning I decided I didn't want to like read off my phone. I felt like it was just like take the phone away for a second.
I agree.
And the country club let me print on their computer, so I printed out a copy of my speech. So I got
Golf
to
clap.
paper, golf clap. But I thought the speech went great. Friday night at the welcome dinner, there were a lot of toasts and 2 speeches, all of them very sentimental, very nice. I told Meg at the hotel that night, I'm getting nervous. Should I change my whole speech up? Those were all really nice. Mine's a funny story. Like mine was half funny story, half sentimental, but like theirs were like people were tear jerkers. Like I'm like, oh no, like I'm in big trouble. Saturday, it was so I was co-best man. So both maids of honor, they spoke. And both of them, tear jerkers, sad, great stories, emotional. I'm like, I even joked with my start of my speech. Like I like ad-libbed from the beginning. I was like, well, my speech is not as emotional as that, but I hope you guys enjoy it. But speech went well, a lot of laughs, a lot of compliments. They loved it. Both dads' speeches were great. It was a great time. Awesome time with those guys. We drank, smoked cigars at the hotel till like 1:30. Meg like ordered Swenson's to get delivered without me knowing, so I got some teasers. So I got some Swennies off
That's
the list.
A name I haven't heard in a long time.
It was unbelievable. I was like getting hungry. I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. And she's like, oh, I ordered you some teasers from Swenson's, and I was like, wow, queen, my
Amazing.
queen.
Yes.
So that was awesome. And then Sunday we went to the brunch. I met one of Meg's friends who lives in Cleveland, and we flew home and we relaxed Sunday night. Got some food, finally got some groceries today. So now we're settled, but all in all, great weekend. Love seeing those guys. Awesome. Just awesome weekend.
That's great to hear. I just seeing the pictures, all the Snapchat stories of your whole pledge class and everyone together.
Can't take my eyes off you. That's the song. Thank God. It was bothering me.
Oh, good. We were going to get our first hate comments based off of that. So I'm glad we found that.
Yeah.
Congrats again to the Josephs. There's a lot going on. I mean, I'm traveling again back in a couple weeks, so summer is always busy. Like we said, you try and plan to save money, but you might as well just like not look at the bank account once summer rolls around. But it's all for good stuff. Other than life, things are happening. We're both still here. We both look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Sports are still on. It's that time of year where the NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup Finals are both in full swing at this point. I'll let you kind of kick us off. These are not, especially in basketball, it was still, I think, conference finals when we had last spoke. So definitely not what people were preparing for a month ago. And then we'll talk, I'll put the over under at 1 minute and 41 seconds on hockey talk, but just kick us off. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, NBA Finals. Not Adam Silver's dream, not what the networks want. That being said, some great basketball. Great basketball. I think we are now, at least myself, I didn't really watch much of game 2 because we were just busy, things were going on. But game 1 was phenomenal. Halliburton seems to be the guy in the bright lights. He wasn't fantastic game 1, but when they came back and he was the guy with the ball in his hand, worked out great. But 1-1, I know PMT said it this week. They're kind of feeling it's going to be 2001 finals with a great game 1 by the underdog and then a gentleman's sweep. I don't know. I think Indiana might still grab a game, but we are seeing OKC just assert their dominance in game 2. That's what they've done all year. I don't know if they're going to gentleman sweep them, win 4-1, but it's been good basketball. Like I think we've mentioned it numerous times over the last year. Of who's going to be the guy. And, LeBron's on his way out. Steph's on his way out. And Anthony Edwards seems to be that guy for 2 rounds the last 3 years. And when he makes that jump, he'll make that jump. But we don't have the face of the league yet. I still don't think we do. I don't think it's Shea. I don't think it's Halliburton. I don't know who it's going to be.
What do you want then?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying I'm accepting that the younger kids are playing and I'm really enjoying it. Like, I think I was very like, oh, like these kids suck, but like the basketball is good. Like the free throw merchant comments have like moved on. Like, I think those comments have passed about Shea, but the basketball's been great. The Oklahoma City plays such good defense. Like their defense is so good. Like I like Alex Caruso as your like sixth, seventh guy, like just locking people up. Like I think he made an all defensive team from the bench this year, which is like I
Yeah.
feel like very rare. And the Pacers have been great. Like Naismith and Nemhard, like those guys, like they shoot the lights out the ball. Miles Turner's been great. Thomas Bryant's been playing good minutes for them. On the Oklahoma City side, like they're just a solid team, a very, very solid team. I don't think I expected them to like just we said it back in the beginning of the playoffs, like the Rockets kind of took the Warriors to game, or the Warriors took the Rockets to game 7, ended up beating them. The Rockets are too early, like they're too young.
Yep.
But OKC, you thought, well, they're young, but let's see how they do this year. They're still a very young team. Like from like the way I'm looking at it, like OKC, like the opportunities are endless in my opinion. Like I don't really know where they're going to go from this season, whether they win or lose. But like they got 17 picks. They really only have Shea on like a big time deal. Like I don't really know where they're gonna go. Like they could easily get in the Giannis sweepstakes. I don't know if Giannis would want to go there, but like they could easily get in those sweep. They could easily get back in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Like I don't like. That was what I've always said about those picks. I've never understood what all the picks will do for them because you obviously can't have like that many players, and
Yeah.
a team has to be willing to accept that like the players that get traded that are big name players. I'm going to guess 9 out of 10 of them have OKC on their no trade clause.
That's probably a fair assumption, which
So-
sucks because
which
it's
sucks,
not
but-
Miami, but it's as far as basketball
it's
culture
not even
goes,
close. It's
Mr.
not even close to
Hooper
Miami.
only, Kevin Durant, like I mean, obviously he came from OKC. I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to be finishing off his career in OKC.
Right.
Though what a story that would be. It sucks because they are one of the best basketball environments, along with Indiana,
Great fan
in the
base.
league.
Yeah.
But no stars are going to want to play there, which is one of the many problems with the basketball. But continue your thought.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's great. I hope Indiana snags a game. I saw a stat that basically Indiana has 3 wins this season on Sundays.
I had
And
that too, yeah.
They're playing with like demon spirits because they're killing Ursay. They're doing all these things. Caitlin Clark and all the devil magic they're using, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
I think it's like
I
3
know
and like
they have
27 or something.
The 3 wins on Sunday, but I actually saw that the 3 wins they have were all when the
That
pick was
is
sick.
nasty work.
So
that
that
is
was pretty
diabolical
interesting.
work.
But that being said, there's still a lot to go with this series. I really do think that Indiana will be able to grab one at home. I think they're going to split the series back home 2-2. Game 4 is obviously incredibly important. But other than that, it's a hard-fought series. I think that this team, this league, it's going to be a battle. And these are 2 really good teams. And I think Indiana deserves to be there.
Yeah.
I do believe that OKC still will win the series. I still think they're the better team. But other than that, I think that they have what it takes defensively. I just don't think it's going to be a 4-1 gentleman sweep. That's just the bottom line for me. I think it's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be interesting.
Yep.
I hope that Indiana can grab one. I hope Halliburton has another big shot. I hope Siakam keeps playing well. I hope the role players shoot well. But if they can't win one at home, it's going to be interesting because I don't think they can grab
I
another
think you're right.
in OKC right off the bat. Game 5, down 3-1.
Yeah, I think, whoever wins game 4 is going to win the series. Classic dad lore. But the jury is still out if it's going to be a good series. I think there is enough devil magic in the tank that Indiana will take one at home. Big thing to call out that I saw, Pascal Siakam was 3 for 11 in game 2. Obviously, you need more out of him. I think in game 1, though, they had like 5 or 6 guys that had over 12 points, but all had under 20. So as you said, like that's just a team where it can get going from pretty much anywhere. And when you have Tyrese Halliburton at the helm, just moving the rock like he does, anything can really happen. The fact that they led for 0.3 seconds in game 1, and I think had like a record-setting amount of turnovers in the first half. The Pacers had turned the ball over a ton in the first half, and they were still able to get one in OKC was outstanding. And then the fact that OKC, though they had last year when they were the young team and it was too early and they had dominated so far, I still think it was impressive that they were able to get back in game 2. Shea had 8 assists where I think he only had a couple in game 1. And that's kind of how you beat them. We saw people do it with Luka too in the playoffs last year. When you have a guy who is such a good isolation scorer like that, most of the time he's going to get 30 plus points, especially in an NBA Finals series. But what you have to do is limit his ability to get others involved. And with OKC having as deep a team they do, that's even more important. So for Shai to have not necessarily a great game facilitating in game one and then have 8 assists in game two, amazing. Free throw merchant stat, he had 6 free throw attempts in game one, 12 free throw attempts in game two. So, but not the craziest thing I've ever seen. So valid that this is just good hoops. Like Shai is the MVP. Like he is the guy. Not that I'm saying Jokic wasn't deserving it, but Shai has proved it all throughout the playoffs that he's the guy. It doesn't matter, like Anthony Edwards, who may have not shrunk away, but ran into a juggernaut in OKC. And my call out there, Anthony Edwards is only 23 years old. He is younger than we are. Shai is already 26. So face of the league still coming. Face of the league still is not a fully developed frontal lobe quite yet. But a great series. I hope game 3 and game 4 are toss-ups. I think they're going to be competitive either way. That's just the point that we're at in the season. But I have been pleasantly surprised to see how this was going, especially like the last time we talked, we were probably talking, what was it, Knicks? Who did the Knicks Wolves? It was probably going to be
Knicks were still involved.
Knicks T-Wolves at that point.
Knicks Wolves. Yeah, like, well, that's what you wanted for sure.
Yeah, so for this to end up the way it is, like you said, not Adam Silver's dream, but still a lot of good basketball. So I hope this is kind of trending in that direction, like we were talking about with a ton of other things when we had last broke, that it's not about the bright lights, it's not about the big names, it's about like the best teams. That's how basketball should be. That's how team sports should be. Yeah, you have your highlight players in Shai, Tyrese, and a bunch of other guys, but these are very confidently the 2 best teams in the league. Not a hot take, obviously. I know we're in the finals, but to see like actually good basketball versus like Luka foul baiting or Shai has even toned back the foul baiting has been good to see. So I have not been quite locked into the series as I was maybe last year, but it's still been really good to follow. And there's a lot to talk about basketball wise, which is really fun.
Yeah, basketball is great. And it's almost coming up with the most exciting time of the basketball season, free agency. That's always when Shams goes off and no Woj this year. I think this is the first year of officially no Woj. Is this the
first or
year
second?
Officially no Woj summer. First or second? Maybe he did it at the beginning of last summer, so second summer. But hopefully, a lot of moves happening. The draft. Did we talk about that? Nico Harrison getting bailed out? I don't even remember when the draft was.
We did talk. I remember we did talk about that. Oh,
okay.
Two last points on basketball. The fact that OKC has all these picks.
Luka skinny.
Luka not skinny. I don't know why the Thunder did not trade all their picks last year for Wembanyama, and I don't know why they shouldn't trade all of their picks this year for Cooper Flag. Like you've seen, like Hartenstein is obviously great. Chet, still young, very great, but it's kind of become that like too big, like a more traditional power forward type guy, and with you look at Chet's versatility and Cooper Flag's versatility, like what is this team not doing? So one of these days they have to pull the trigger on something. I don't think it's going to be Giannis. I don't think KD tries to spend his last couple of years there. So I think you do it in the draft.
I just don't know what you do. I just don't know what you do. Like, what do you do? And then it but then it boils down to it. Like you're saying those 2 players, like the Spurs and the Mavericks. Let's just use those 2 teams as the comparison. Like where do you how do you justify giving up Wembanyama? I don't know
fair.
what Cooper Flagg's going to do,
fair.
but like Wembanyama's a freak. You know, I just think like how do they justify it? Because I think there's even a rule now with like how many picks you can trade after the Nets Celtics one where they got that terrible
I think
trade.
you're right.
I think after that there was like you can't like that's why the Lakers in the last like 5-6 years have always had like really weird picks. Like you can't trade consecutive years, you can't trade more than 4. Like there's all these weird like pick rules. So kind of interesting. So yeah, I don't know where they go because I don't know what you do with all these picks and I don't know what the benefit of having all them is. Everyone said the same thing on lottery night. Like why wouldn't they package a deal and go up to 1? But like I don't really know. I don't know where they go. NBA is still fun. Glad we're talking sports again. Haven't talked a lot of sports the last couple of weeks. NHL, we'll start the timer now. I just saw what it is on my account. But 2-1 Florida. Rematch going on. It's a really good series. I listened to Ryan Whitney. That's where I got my information on hockey today. And same thing as basketball. These are far and away the two best teams. Far and away.
I had on mine that a repeat finals in hockey is probably one of the only sports. It's fun. Like you could probably say the Dodgers are heavy favorites to make their way back to the World Series. Obviously,
a Dodgers Yankees, yeah, would be.
It
fun,
is, yeah. But I think hockey is still more fun. Like to be able, anything could happen in hockey, especially playoff hockey. To be able to grind it out and end up back here is amazing. I think it's the best sport to have a repeat opportunity in. So it has been exciting.
Yes. That being said, it is a street fight. That game, I don't know how much you watched the game 3. Felt like Edmonton was in the penalty box every single game, every single minute. Brad Marchand, even on one of the goals, the power play goals, like skated by, like pointed his head, like use your head. They were fighting every chance they got. In the end of the third period, when it was like 5-1, 6-1 already at that point, they got into a massive brawl, like 5-on-5 brawl. Goalies just sitting in their nets. It's a slugfest. This is a slugfest. I really do want to see Connor McDavid.
Wrong.
I do want to see him. I know it'd be funny to see him lose again. Also, I just don't know. I think I would like to see him win. I'd prefer to see him win. I would like to see, and then that maybe, you know what? I want it to go next year too. I want a third year. 1-1, go to the third year.
I would
go to the year
I'd
3.
be in on that.
But other than that, like hockey's been great. Florida kicked the crap out of them, but the first 2 games, 2 overtimes, people are watching. I mean, people are watching hockey. People are watching hockey. Like we've been saying it for the last 5 months, 6 months. I feel like since 4 Nations, like it's been great. I haven't hated any of it.
Yeah, I think was really in the camp of wanting McDavid to get one, but now I think I'm going to go back and think it would be funny for the narrative if he lost again. Having Brad Marchand in the Stanley Cup Finals is hilarious. He is just one of the most like classic hockey players you can think of. He's scrappy. He's not the biggest guy, but he is the most annoying guy. He's always there when it matters most. He had a goal. I don't think it was a game winner earlier in the series, but he's definitely
overtime. Yeah,
overtime game winner in one of the first 2 games of the series. But obviously, he's been there before with Boston. The dude is a stud. I'm anti-Canada. I don't forget the 4 Nations. I remember where we were when the face-off fight happened in the original game versus Canada, and I remember losing in the finals. I went and met up with friends to watch the finals of the NHL All-Star Weekend. I don't forget that, so I'm not rooting for Canada in this series. Florida Panthers, the place of hockey in this country is Florida, and I want it to happen again. So that's where I'm at. But hockey keeps winning. I mean, the playoff environments are great. That's what we've been saying all year. You got high value players. Like you have one of the up and coming best players not up and coming, but you have McDavid, who is just like really in a position to try and get one. You have Marchand, a guy who has been there a ton of times before. You have the Oilers where Gretzky played while he's on the call with TNT. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about with hockey, which is really fun. I know my dad has been watching it super closely, so I get my hockey news from him, but the street fights are the best. Like the Blackhawks, when they had their dynasty, they were not that team. They were Patrick Kane skating through guys. They were fast. They were agile. They would go around the Boston Bruins in some of those Stanley Cup runs. But these are also fun. Just bruisers, just the brutal game of hockey. And it has been really cool. So I've been enjoying that as well. Smash the over.
Yeah, it's been great. Smash the over. This is Game 3 was Monday, so I think Game 4 might be Thursday.
Sure.
I think that's Thursday. I don't know when the final schedules are weird. It's like 2 games in between, stuff like that. Hold on, fans. It's loading.
Game 4 is on Thursday. Maybe I can't just...
Game 4 is on Thursday.
Maybe I just can't Google other things right now.
Yeah, so that's talking hockey for I think like 3-4 minutes. So we're locked in. One last section before we go to clutch moment of the week, though. NFL. We'll talk quick hits. Obviously, we're still far out. Don't want to get too excited. I think we're under 100 days, though. Pretty sure we're under 90 days. I think I saw the Cowboys post like CeeDee Lamb days till game 1. So I think we're under 100 days, under 90 days. But news around the league. I'll hit you with them quick. We'll do a quick little bit of it. Pickens, Cowboy. Rodgers, Steelers. Cincinnati holdouts. And football is just near in general. Go.
Pickens to the Cowboys makes absolutely no sense. Take it away from Jerry. He's as crazy as Belichick is. I already forgot the second one.
I
already forgot the second fact.
I don't think he is.
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Unironically, I was listening to his latest episode on Joe Rogan the day before he signed, so I blame myself for this. I really thought he was going to take a year off and just quietly fade into the background. I don't know why I thought that. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Got married. Did you see that today?
To who?
Nobody knows.
Pisses me
he
off.
Was wearing a ring, and he said it in his.
Maybe it's because he's married to football now. Now I'm annoyed all over again. He is ruining Will Howard's life. Will Howard I think actually had really positive reports coming out of training camp.
Crap.
But there was a report I saw today that Rodgers has actually had a quote that he's going to like try and show Will everything he can. And that's always a conversation if like a veteran quarterback is going to show a rookie the rope. So I was shocked if that's real. Yeah, I'm shocked to hear him do that.
When has he ever done that?
Clearly, he taught Jordan Love a thing or two. They have the same play action fake.
Yes, they do.
Now I just thought about the game we went to. Okay, yeah, I'm mad again. Football is near. I don't think Rodgers has it.
Cincinnati.
Trey, they're horrible. I actually don't get it. I think Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks last year. They're not even signing a rookie now. They tried to pull a completely new thing that has never been done before in the NFL, is putting a clause in their rookie Shamar Stewart's contract. The clause is that if there's like a default on the contract, meaning he holds out again or doesn't play like voluntarily, like if he gets hurt there, that's obviously different. But if he just sits out, it voids like all guaranteed money on the rest of the contract. I don't know if that was that's probably all the money. It voids the rest of the contract.
Oh, wow.
Typically, it just voids the year. That is what the standard NFL language had been in the past. That just that year, like if you decide to hold out, the rest of the contract.
I didn't know much. I just saw he was holding out.
Yeah, so he is waiting to be signed as a rookie, and I think that is like a pretty damning clause to be put in by the Bengals, especially in a time where they're having contract issues and holdouts and negotiations with Hendrickson, who is one of the premier pass rushers, meaning like he's at a premier position as well. I don't know why the Bengals would put themselves in that position. They did take care of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I forget where the whole T. Higgins situation is. They did pay T. Higgins.
He did.
Okay, so this is what we saw last year. They'd put up 42 points a game and lose 45-42 every time. So they're not paying Hendrickson. They're not treating the defense correctly, and they're going to suffer for it. Like, it looks like it's going to be the same year for the Bengals, which sucks because Joe Burrow, I think, is easily a top 5 quarterback in this league, and he has shown it. Like, he showed it last year. He was an MVP candidate, and they were well under 500. They missed the playoffs. So it sucks. Football is back. I think we're about 74 days until college football, which is going to be I'm so excited for. I'm starting to feel college football more than NFL at this point. Bears training camp videos give me PTSD, and I think all OTA and camp stats for all players and quarterbacks. The Browns have been putting out. Have you been seeing this?
Fake stats.
Fake. Okay, thank God.
Yes, I wasn't really Dylan Gabriel threw a pick.
I wasn't really thinking about it because they always also had Shedeur as like the number 2.
Oh, there was a lot of Shador pictures this weekend.
Good. I'm backing on Shador. That's where I stand on that. When it's right. Like I don't think, like he should start now. He's better than everybody. But I just think he's a guy that's going to work. Maybe it's the fake stats getting into my head because those have him looking pretty good. And also Ohio State. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks. That's where I'm at.
Great football roundup. My additions. Pickens, great deep ball threat. He'll be complaining by game 3. Rodgers, he's now my enemy. He's already been my enemy because he owns the Cowboys, but he's even more my enemy now that he's taking plays away from Will Howard. So he's dead to me again. Bengals, so stupid. Pay your guys. Like Micah, surprisingly, also holding out, but was at practice today. Not voluntary. It was mandatory OTA starting. He was there, wasn't doing on-field work, was training off to the side, but showed up, talked to Jerry Jones, talked to the coaching staff, went to all the meetings. Very big of him. Very shocking for me. But Bengals, crazy that they have Trey Hendrickson and the rookie to replace him, both holding out basically. Absurd story. I didn't know much about it, so thank you for informing me about, because I didn't really know why the rookie was. But that makes more sense now. And yes, football is near. We're so close. Like we're right there. You know what I saw today? I know this is gonna tickle your fancy. Saw a Joel Klatt video. Coaches for 2025.
You know, I've been in the office more, like I've been commuting a little further to work. So I've been trying to brush up on podcasts, and I just haven't brought myself to be able to click on Joel Klatt's face in the off season.
Not yet. I saw it on Twitter.
But you're right. It's about that time.
Him and I was like, yeah. So we're getting excited. It's almost July 1. I'm all in on some propaganda. Yes, 2 quarterbacks bad. But it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun year. I'm excited. Football's so close.
I have a statement. It's not a prepared statement. Not the biggest news, but out of Hallis Hall and Bears minicamp, there was some old quotes.
Oh, Cole Kmet's getting married.
Cole Kmet got married. I guess they were out in very nearby here, actually. Caleb Williams was spotted at a Cane's right down the street. But Caleb Williams, the quotes about the Bears and the pre-draft process and Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
No, at least on Twitter, nobody was mad at him, and I completely support that. The Bears media is actually really dumb. They've asked Ben Johnson, other players, a couple really, really dumb questions that just make it look like they've never been around a professional organization before, and they haven't. So there continues to be positive things coming out of how the Bears have been kind of carrying themselves. And the quotes Caleb Williams had was that him and his dad, more specifically his father than him, it sounds like, but they were really trying to pull any legal lever they could to get him to not come to the Bears at number 1. And Ryan Poles told him in their pre-draft visit that practically no matter what, we are taking you. The Bears are historically a place where quarterbacks go to die. I don't think I've been shy on that fact at all. Still has not had a 4,000-yard passer. Caleb Williams probably had a top 10 quarterback season for a Bears quarterback of all time. And he did very, very bad last year. So the fan base knows that. And then he did it. So he tried to not go to the Bears, and then he did go to the Bears. And he came out, I still remember when he got drafted, he gave the biggest yell when he came out on stage. And since then has been a fantastic advocate for the team and the city. He has been a Bear. So he did address it and was like, this did happen. Yeah, he literally invented that on the spot. Dude, he's a stud. The fact, even the way he addressed it was this did happen. If you look at history for the Bears, it's not great. He met with Kevin O'Connell, who just won Coach of the Year last year. They were down at, forget if they picked at number 9, maybe number 11, somewhere around there is where they took JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, well, JJ.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell's clearly he's great. He's the Coach of the Year. He had Sam Darnold looking like a million dollar man up until the last game of the year last year. So nothing he said or did was inappropriate. So I was really happy to see the actual fans, not the media, not the ESPN headlines and stuff like that, but the people on Twitter, the way it was responded to was he's right. We suck. Now we have some things in place that hopefully we can not suck. And he's been fantastic ever since he got here. So Caleb Williams, though we haven't necessarily seen it translate to wins quite yet, has still just carried himself in a fantastic way. And I am a full supporter. Football is back.
Okay. Signed, Joey Z. Love that. Bears are back soon. Cowboys Bears this year will be a fun one. Will be a fun one this season. Don't know if it's going to work out because of our schedules. We talked about it when the schedule release happened. But that being said, we'll be locked in. A lot of fun football coming up. So close. We're so close to football. But now we're going to do a quick ad break and talk about our sponsor of Clutch Moment of the Week.
Our clutch moment of the week is brought to you by Shore Metals, serving Southern California since 1970. Big enough to serve you and small enough to know you. See Stan, he'll help you out. Michael, who is your clutch moment of the last 3 weeks?
Been a lot of people, long break, so definitely want to shout out a couple. I'll give you my list here. Denzel Clark. Unfortunately, it was at my expense. Clutch moment of the week. Incredible catch on Monday night against the Angels. Incredible catch. The Josephs. Shout out to them. Life, happiness, health, a great marriage. Clutch moment of the week. Getting married this weekend. Mazel tov. Otto Kemp, former high school travel ball teammate, got called up by the Phillies today. Had a 3-hit game on Monday night. Fantastic. Bino's been locked in on him. I've been telling Bino a lot about him. Undrafted player, signed for chump change, worked his way up, hit over 350 in AAA, finally got the call to the bigs. Been 4 games, playing well. Shout out Otto Kemp. And finally, last clutch moment, Denny Hamlin, NASCAR driver, wins the last race this past Sunday in Michigan and hits the OH on the racetrack.
W.
Those are my 4 clutch moment of the week.
Good clutch moments. I mean, shout out specifically the Josephs, of course, and Kemp getting called up to the big leagues, especially that story going undrafted. That is obviously not something that is done every day. So massive congrats and massive clutch moments out there. I had a few as well. Going down the list, love is in the air. So again, shout out Charlie and Nikki, the future Giffords, for their engagement party. That was amazing. Did the whole groomsman bridesmaid situation. I will be a groomsman in that wedding as well. So love is in the air. And then John McDonald, our former Chi committee member, as well as former Beta president. I was getting there. John McDonald got engaged to his longtime girlfriend Lainey DeWalt over there in Ohio what is today? Yeah, they got engaged last week. That has been a long time coming as well. Super, super excited for them. I know that'll be another fun set of engagement parties, bachelor parties, all that stuff. It's going to be an absolute party getting the college guys back together. So awesome to see that. Otherwise, my sister Katie, as I said, she just graduated undergrad in May. She's going to PA school. So to the physician's assistant program is like a year or two long. It is a hardcore grad school process, interview process. You need to have a certain amount of clinical hours done. She's been working really hard on it and really thought she was going to end up taking a gap year just with how competitive it was. Didn't think she was a first round pick, had some more hours she was going to get, but got the call today that after her first interview and very early in the process, she has been accepted to a PA school here in Illinois, pretty nearby. So very, very excited about that. She was crying when she called the family to tell everybody. So a dream come true of hers and another step in the process down. So big congrats there. Moving away from good, wholesome stuff, NBA Sentinel's been on a tear. Got a hold of the WNBA.
So good.
Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese drama. And the WNBA fans have not picked up on Sentinel yet. They are putting up wilt numbers in the W.
It's free.
Oh,
It's free for them.
it's free. That was a clutch moment, and pretty much, I would say my only good source of content lately. Like my Twitter page is a hellhole. The content game has been weak coming out here. Elon, I'm talking to you. I know you're listening, so I need more funny tweets.
Oh.
Sentinel has been a good source of that, and also Victor Wembanyama has turned into a monk, which I think is extremely clutch moment and something I may be
Yes.
considering as well. So those are my clutch moments.
Oh. Those are all great. I didn't know you were thinking about becoming a monk, so that's exciting. And yeah, shout out to John. Very cool. Very all great clutch weeks. Like it's fun because when you don't talk for a couple weeks, there's a
A
ton.
lot, yeah.
There's a ton. So those were all great clutch moments. A lot of stuff going on in sports and in life, also great. But fun recap of clutch moment of the week. But now we're gonna kick it to outside the line. Wrapping it up now with Outside the Line and starting it off with a good one. Tone Deaf Person of the Week. It's been a while. Could be some good ones. So who do we got?
Man, there's quite a lot. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on personally. There's a lot of tone deaf stuff going on, as there are in most things these days. But my biggest issue is the fact that the kids don't know how to read third person omniscient books anymore, Michael.
So what happened there? You kind of mentioned it, but I need to know, like, what caused this? Was it Maddie telling you about a student thing? Like, what happened?
Well, first and foremost, I know we're adults. We're living with significant others, so we're not the kids that I'm speaking of. But would you be able to define third person omniscient for me?
No.
You're part of the problem, man. That's tough. No, it was a tweet I saw. I thought it was pretty funny, but then I actually backed it up with some of my own research. But kids can't read anymore. What third person omniscient is it's a point of view. If you're reading a book and say God was the narrator, that he knew all of the things that were going on at once, that's what third person omniscient means. Kids don't know how to read. It's bad. There's a lot of bad.
Did you read a lot of books like that?
A few. The Book Thief, one of the best books I've ever read. Death is the third person omniscient narrator. Bang. That's books, bruh.
Interesting.
But I also saw Mission Impossible 8 along with a rewatch of like 4 through 8. And in 7 and 8, the bad guy in Mission Impossible, spoilers ahead, is AI. It's an AI program, and every single time something happens, Tom Cruise goes, "That's what the entity wants you to think. It wants us to be doing whatever." And that's just kind of what life is now. It's like low-key really accurate with how bad Twitter looks, how different news sources look, how kids don't know how to read. We're screwed. Tone deaf, the world. I've been feeling pretty cynical lately. Kind of sucks. I hope the world gets better. That was my tone deaf. What about you?
World is bad right now. Hopefully the world does get better. I agree. Books, not a book guy. So I'm dumb too. But tone deaf. Okay, I have two. One is directed at myself, but I think it's been a very hot topic. So I'll say that one second because I would like to know your thoughts. And I saw it first person. So I wanted to get your thoughts. But first one, obviously a lot of traveling. You know what that means. Issue on a plane. Will say Friday, I just thought about this because I was thinking about my whole weekend at the airport. Friday, National Donut Day. I know that's like really random, but Dunkin' Donuts at the airport is giving out free donuts. So we got a free donut that morning. So, I mean, you get one at the stores, but the airport was right side. Yeah. Very right side. Yeah. But tone deaf. Okay. Parents, 2 parents on the plane, 1 baby. Not a baby, sorry. 6, 7-year-old. Maybe 9, 10. Don't know the age. Probably 7 or 8, realistically. Screaming, crying the entire flight. 2 hours from Cleveland to Boston. I get it. 2 hours not a long time, but just like terrible. 1 parent controlling their kid, trying to do everything. Nothing work on. Other parent brought out their own nachos, ordered a rosé from the stewardess, put on their sleep mask. No regard. Parent did not help. Didn't switch seats with the other parent. Maybe try something else. Go to the bullpen. Nothing. Pathetic. Can't be quiet for 2 hours. You should get your kids taken for you. Kids should be taken away from you. I texted you after. What's worse? Who do I hate more? Parents that do that or Taliban, Al-Qaeda in the Osama bin Laden documentary? So that's.
Can I ask a couple follow-up questions?
Yes.
So nachos means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. You're from Southern California. I'm from the Midwest. Was this just
full nachos?
Ballpark?
Full nachos. Nope.
Was there jalapenos?
Olives.
There was sour chicken. Oh
yes.
my!
Yes.
That
it was a Tupperware container they brought from home. It was unbelievable.
Okay.
Take the kids away.
Follow-up question. 6, 7 years old is pretty old for that. Do you have any idea what prompted the crying?
Nope. Started before we took off. Killed the family.
Brutal. Nachos and okay. I was initially like, grow up, Michael. It's only 2. I was more like, you're crying for 2 hours. You've been crying for well over 2 hours now. So is it really worth it? But now, especially with the nachos, you're valid.
Okay. Thank you. Second one. It's the second tone deaf. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the other side, but it's a very hot topic in the baseball world. I wanted to hear your thoughts. Last week I left from California. My last night, I had plans with my parents. Angel Stadium, Saturday night, Savannah Bananas. My mom got tickets.
I've been waiting to talk
I
about
went.
this.
I went. Was not excited. Was like, okay, like I'll go with you because like I wanted to spend time with my parents. I'm leaving. But I didn't really want to go. Couldn't find a friend to go with me. Couldn't find anybody to go. My mom, like we just, three of us. Just like old times. Three of us went.
You and all the other like 8-year-olds with their parents, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Was very, very
Okay.
skeptical. Was not excited. I loved it.
Oh God.
I loved it. I thought it was so entertaining. I thought it was good. These guys thought it was bullshit baseball, legit baseball. Two guys nukes out of the stadium. Nukes. Like crushed balls. Legit baseball. They should implement this way they have. For someone who doesn't like the length of games, like yourself, you should be all in.
It's
on
never been.
Savannah Bananas.
I've never complained about the length of baseball games. I have complained. That's a different conversation.
Either way, loved it.
I
was so entertained. I was laughing, enjoyed it. I think it's a trend to hate on them.
It's a
If you
trend to
just
hate on
accept-
everything.
If you accept being young for a second, like I was in that moment, I just accepted it. I was like, not excited. Awesome.
So were you
Fantastic
So you're saying
night.
you were brainwashed?
Not brainwashed. I went in there completely open-minded.
So-
Very fun. Oh, it was very entertaining. And granted, I'm not like dumb. I'm not like saying it was the greatest thing in the world. If I was 5-6 years old, would love it. Would love it. Second, million times better than the Harlem Globetrotters. Million times better. Globetrotters is the same fucking thing every night.
I've seen the Globetrotters. Yeah.
It's
I've seen the Globetrotters.
Third, these people love it. These little kids love it. It's very entertaining. It's very interactive. They get the like banana ball, foul ball. If you catch it, it's an out. The fans were great. I thought it was cool. I really liked it. I was very, very anti it, very till last week. But I liked it. I might be me. Maybe I'm the tone deaf in society, but I liked it. It was a good time.
No, I
Great
don't think
story.
you're
The guy
tone-deaf.
who runs it, it's a great story. Guy who ran it, great story. Great story.
What is? I don't know the story. What's the story?
Basically, like, wanted to do this, wanted to like start this, pulled out like basically a second mortgage on his home, risked it all for this, started in Savannah, like 10,000 people, like was having trouble in the beginning, started getting some love, blew up. Next thing you know it was like a couple minor league stadiums, a couple like venues. Now they've sold out Fenway Park, Angel Stadium. They had over 100,000 fans at Angel Stadium. They filled out the Panther Stadium, Carolina Panthers, back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
They filled out Clemson's football stadium that night, Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium. I mean, like, fans love it. It's interactive. The kids love it. If kids want to start, this is not baseball. Like, I'm not saying it's like how the games be played, but it's entertaining. Kids love it. Fans were all juiced. There's definitely some weird. I mean, like you're definitely getting a percentage of those fans as Disney adults. I would categorize them as like that's like definitely a percentage of. Fans.
I got questions. So the Harlem Globetrotters, like borderline a choreographed dance. You know who is going to be in what spot on the floor at a given score.
Yep.
So what? You still have to hit the baseball. So
still have to hit the baseball. Still have, and I'm going to say the pitches were 85 to 90 the whole night.
Okay. So do you think any of these guys could play in the big leagues?
I think they could play like independent ball, like low A. I don't think they're major leaguers.
Okay.
But they're almost all of them are ex-college players.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, I feel like one of like the shots of this that you see, like when people are making fun of them on social media.
The TikTok dances, you're right. They're rough. They're rough. The TikToks are rough.
Straight from like the catcher, you got like the two middle
those are
infielders and the
bad.
pitcher doing
Those
the
are
same
bad.
TikTok. How often does that happen?
It happened once before the game, twice during the game.
Not could be
Tho-
much worse.
Those are
It could be
those are
once an inning.
very uncomfortable. Those are very uncomfortable, but it's not as often as you think. I'm telling you.
Okay, that's good. What was the final score?
5-1. It's so the way they do it is you can only score 1 run. Okay, so every inning, whoever scores the most runs gets the run. So in the first inning, the team they played went 1-2-3.
It's match play.
It's match play. It was fantastic. Savannah Bananas, bottom of the first, double, base hit, 1-0, inning over. Inning over. Fantastic. Then in the 9th inning, you can score as many runs as you want that like actually count as runs. Fantastic. This guy, 2 guys, both home runs. Deep center, nuked. Right field, crushed. 2 great swings, the other team. It was sweet. Brought out old Angel players. Brought out Ham Porter from Sandlot. That was our special guest, along with ex-Angel players.
That was your game?
Cool.
I saw that everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cool. Good
I'm
time.
shocked.
Good
I'm
event.
shocked you're in on it. It's
I
only
know.
what 2
I
hours.
was shocked too.
You are like the most curmudgeony old
dude.
man, especially with baseball, that I can think
I know.
of. So
I know. I love it.
What? I mean, is it the quality of the baseball? Is it just being in the ball? Like no one is ever going to watch these games on TV. I can imagine.
Well, they have.
I don't know if I want to even go that far.
They have a 20 game. They have a 20 game deal with ESPN and Disney Plus, and
that is insane.
People are watching it.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked you're on this. I don't think it's tone
all
deaf.
over.
I think it's entertaining.
Now here's the thing. There could be one major
We're going
factor.
way long. I didn't know this was coming. I am floored right now.
One major factor that could have played a factor into all this. It may have been because it was the most fun I've had in that stadium in a long time. That could have been it.
That is a low,
That could have
bar.
been it. That could have been it. So I'm putting that as the major factor of all it. But that was my last tone deaf. Did you enjoy it?
You're the one who has to look yourself in the mirror. If any of your former baseball teammates reach out to you and call you mean names, I'm not gonna say their run.
I talked about it.
And the thoughts from the rest of your baseball community?
It's 50-50. 50-50. It's split.
Did you send like a embarrassed text in the baseball group chat like, guys, I have a confession to make. I love the Savannah Bananas.
I was just like talking about it with some friends, like just in a chat, and I was like, it was awesome, guys. You gotta go.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
It's great. It was great. Gets a bad rap, I think.
I look at you differently, but not in a bad way, just differently.
That's fine. That's fine. I think it had to be said.
All right.
Yeah. That was my tone. Okay, wrong side, right side. Let's wrap it up quickly.
We'll go quick. I'll fly down the list. Right
You're
side.
so thrown off.
I've talked
You're so thrown off.
I'm very thrown off. Right side, I talked about this before we had taken our break. My new manager at work is great. I feel really good about work. Arguably the best I felt since graduating college. So W over the last couple of weeks doing that stuff. Being domesticated is really nice, though I have been really busy and spending a lot of money. The days of waking up to 25 people sleeping on my floor are over, and I can actually walk on my floor barefoot.
Awesome.
It's really, really nice.
Awesome.
I love being domesticated. Maddie cooks really good food. I cook too. Don't come at me. Right side, golf. Playing a lot more golf this year compared to the last 2 years. Really loving it. It's my boy Charlie, who I was talking about, the one who's engaged. He lives very close to me. He drives me because I don't have a car. Maddie has a car and she's gone a lot. So Charlie drives me. We play golf. It's very fun. Lee Corso's final game for College Game Day is going to be Texas at Ohio State. Should be fun. He's going to put on the Brutus head one last time, and it'll be a good send-off for the old man. U.S. Open course coming up this week. Very difficult. Scotty with the shortest odds to win a major since Tiger Woods. I don't know the year, but since Tiger Woods, doing anything since Tiger Woods is
believable.
Is usually a pretty good feat when it comes to golf. So U.S. Open coming up this weekend. Starts tomorrow. By the time you're listening to this, should be a great major. College Football 26 is coming out. There's the added features I'm excited about are D-line and O-line adjustments. I'm definitely buying the game. I didn't get the pro version last year. I think I'm getting the pro version this year. And my other right side is the Packers release Jair Alexander. I hate him. He is so annoying. He is so annoying, and I hate him so much. I don't know where he's going to end up. I don't know why they released him yet. This was just earlier today, I believe, Tuesday when we're recording this. But those are my right sides.
Wrong sides?
Wrong side is really impossible to save money in the summer. There's a lot going on and it's all fun stuff, but it really makes me anxious. Wrong side, golf. I've been golfing a lot more, but I'm still really bad at it. I had a really, really, really good week last week, and I had a really, really bad round yesterday. So I am stressed. I am playing with my dad and my uncle on Father's Day, and I need to make a statement because otherwise I'm going to look at myself differently and in a very, very bad way. Wrong side, Angel Reese. Enough said. Wrong side, MLB buying John Boy Media, the league controlling any sort of media, especially the MLB, who is the worst marketed league, probably the worst marketed league we have.
No,
I don't like that they're buying John Boy up.
Not probably.
I don't think it's good. AI, artificial intelligence is already revolting, and we're probably not going to do anything to stop it. It will be the end of us as a human race. It is already revolting against shutdown commands. We're dead. We're so dead. We're so dead. All we can hope as young men is that the aliens invade and we have to unify as a species to fight a common enemy. That's how I'm feeling. And the shelf. For those of you watching the YouTube video, there is now a shelf over my back right shoulder. It has hats on it. It has cups on it. There's an ethylene tank mug on it over there. This shelf is nearly perfectly level now. So it's a custom-made shelf by my friend's grandfather, so it is not a standard width apart in which you could hang it perfectly on two studs. Therefore, you need drywall screws. Ideally, you drill it into one stud in the wall and use another drywall screw.
Sure.
The stud finder is also something that evades me at times. So I tried to hang this one time. Maddie was here. I made her help me so it wasn't fully my fault. And we put it up. I was stressed out. I was trying to use the drill and drill more holes in the wall. You can't see the hole in the wall behind me. There's a few errant holes in the wall, but I hung a really, really not level shelf. Jesus, dude. I hung the shelf really not level. It was super embarrassing, and I was pissed about it. I fixed it a couple days later, and I was like, I just need to move it up a little bit. And trust me, when I drill this hole next to this other hole, I'm not going to make one big hole in the wall, and I definitely made one big hole in the wall. Meanwhile, during all that time, some of our friends were coming over to use the pool nearby. One came up here and was like, where is everybody? I'm walked in. I got stuff everywhere. I've moved stuff from under the shelf so the sawdust or anything doesn't get underneath it. She walks in, first time at our apartment. She's not 2 steps in. She goes, it's so messy in here. I almost kicked her down the stairs. It was bad. I was not happy. Later that day, the shelf is now perfectly level. So that was a real bad wrong side moment. I was going to do a boy job in my new domesticated apartment, and I flubbed it real bad, but it has since been fixed.
Hey, there's some growing pains in the move. All great. AI is taking over. We have not had any bad drills yet, but this week we're hanging some paintings, which should be interesting. Other than that, all very valid. Great right sides, great wrong sides. All that's good. I'll do mine real quick. We'll wrap it up. Right side, Boston has been sick. A lot of cool things to do. Good city. Stop raining, please. Need some sun. Angels, they are not playing well, but I did see them win our first night at Fenway. Beat the Red Sox. Awesome. Great game. Super fun. A final right side. Found my new AMC. 0.4 miles away. 8-minute walk from my apartment. Can't wait to lock in there. Get A-list.
Boom.
I'm the biggest advocate. Wrong side. Moving never ends. I wish my teams weren't on the West Coast because sports time zone on the East Coast sucks. And plane delays. Why do they keep happening? Need real answers, not just COVID. Those are my right and wrong sides.
Have you seen that LaGuardia is I saw a bunch of interviews with workers at LaGuardia, and they were like, don't fly here. It's legitimately dangerous.
I sure wasn't
I don't
JFK.
know what's happening. It was one of the New York ones.
Okay. Yeah, well.
Anyway, airports
that's
are
what's
bad.
going on. I mean, airport's bad. Get over it. Flying next week, though. I have to go back to California for a work event for my old team that I had to finish up on.
What is this? The biggest wrong... What is this? The biggest wrong side I've ever heard? You're going to be back there for 12 hours?
36 hours, yeah. Won't even see my parents. They're going on a trip. So literally flying home. Ubering to work, not even taking my car. Yeah,
That
big wrong
sucks.
side. That'll be next week's. But yeah, great week. We're back. Recap our last month. Can't wait to get back into it. Going to be more normal now. Everyone's settled. Hopefully by the time this time next week, there's a couch here. There's some stuff on the wall. There's no more boxes. Hopefully the holes are plastered or with the wall plaster are fixed up by next week. Things are going well. Wrong Side continues. We promised you a month ago it would not be the end. We're back. We're here. Can't wait to get back into it. Summer of Wrong Side. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Stay blessed.